Hello and welcome back to Beyond the School Gate, Viewer's Choice. Today's topic was kindly sent in by a follower on Instagram, and they were asking, how do I deal with the spotlight effect? So first of all, I had to Google what they meant because I didn't know what it meant. And essentially, I think it's this term in psychology where your brain or part of your brain tells you that there's like a spotlight on you that's kind of like following you around. So my interpretation of that is they were asking, how do you deal with feeling like you're in a spotlight and the pressure of other people looking at you? It was an interesting question because, like I said, I didn't know what they meant by the spotlight effect, so I'd never heard of that phrase before. And I suppose, I don't know. I suppose I've never felt like people. I never felt like there's a spotlight following me around. I suppose that's an easy way to say it. And I think my advice would probably be, people aren't really watching us like that. I don't think anybody is watching somebody else that much that there's actually like a spotlight kind of following them around. I think the more we realise that we're just a drop in the ocean for other people, and for the most part people aren't really checking on what we're doing. Yeah, there are some people that probably are, but for the most part people are worrying about themselves. It's like when you go to the gym for the first time, you might think, I don't want to go, I'm a little bit nervous, everyone's going to be looking at me, blah blah blah. But for the most part people aren't there watching you. They're looking at themselves, they're looking at what they're doing, they're looking at their own form. They probably have some of the insecurities that you have as well. So I suppose my advice would be, people probably aren't looking at you, so just like try and just remember that when you're feeling like the spotlight is on you, is that it may be that you're putting this on yourself, or if there are genuinely people that are scrutinizing you, why are they scrutinizing you? Like, is it at work? Is it outside of work? I don't know. Is this an opportunity to reframe? Are they looking at me because they like what I do, or they admire what I'm doing, or they're interested in how I do this thing? Or if they're not and they're looking at you in a negative way, like, just don't take on their bad energy, I suppose my advice would be. Or if you enjoy the spotlight, go, you better embrace that. Do you know what I mean? Do a dance, do a little 1-2 step, just live your life, almost perform. Why not? If you enjoy the spotlight, there you go, there's a bit of advice. If you enjoy the spotlight and you actually enjoy the feeling and the thought of people watching you, bask in the ambience of the vibe and the feeling of people watching you. And if you're right and they've got a good show, because I'm sure you're talented. And if they're not, you've got to enjoy your afternoon. So, win-win. I'd probably say that. All jokes aside though, if it's kind of like crippling you and it's making you like change your personality or change who you are or make you feel shy, maybe try and engage with the people. I'm assuming they've asked the question because there might be like a particular person or people or example that they kind of are thinking of. Maybe if it's appropriate, engage with the person and get to know them and build those type of relationships, because then you can gauge, are they really watching you? Just engage. And I suppose then you've demystified it, because by engaging with them you've either realised that one, they weren't watching me anyway, so chill, I just made a new friend, or they were watching me and then your theory is correct and they were watching you for a bad purpose, or they were watching you for a good purpose. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say just enter with caution and kind of like protect your own energy and protect your own vibe. But I heard something, or it was a quote, I'm going to butcher it, but it was basically saying someone else's opinion of you ain't none of your business. And like, as long as you're living your life nice and you're a nice person and you're trying your best and you're kind and you enter every situation with as much kindness as you can and you learn from opportunities that maybe haven't gone the way you want them to go, like, let people watch. It's like, it's genuinely, it's okay. I think this has been a harder one to answer because I've just never felt that. I've never had that feeling before. And now I'm trying to think now, if I felt people were watching me, I'd probably say, hi bestie. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably just talk to them and be like, hi. share something with them and see if they're willing to open up. You know, like, hey, how are you? Or, oh, I saw you last week and I was meaning to stop by and say hello. Like, if it's a stranger or a new person at work, like, just engage. And I genuinely think the more time, I don't know, I genuinely just don't think people are watching us in the way that we think they are. I hope that's kind of been helpful. It's been a hard one to answer because I've just had no experience of it. But like I say with everything, just approach it with kindness, because kindness is free. And I'll see you in the next one.